All right, so this is going to be a very brief demo. So what do? We automate the lead nurturing and conversion process of home service businesses. How do we do that? Is we link together your CRM with a fully A to Z automated system that will follow up with customers and leads all year long, convert new leads right when they come in, follow up with leads, make sure that they are welcomed when they book an appointment. We can introduce the company, send them reminders, reschedule cancellations, follow up on all the estimates. If somebody declines an estimate and they have like a pricing disposition, follow up on that, try to convert those leads, because honestly, those are the best leads aside from the people that say yes. Get reviews and referrals, and then once somebody becomes a customer, follow up with them in a non-aggressive fashion, but still not forgetting about them. What we do that nobody else does is we're able to schedule appointments directly into your CRM. Somebody calls back and talks to the voice AI. The voice AI can then find that contact and reschedule them. The AI can take care of cancellations. Now, what you'll notice here is that there are different AIs. So we have an inbound voice AI, we have a chat booking AI, and we have an outbound AI. When you're connecting lead sources, Thumbtack and Angie and LSA, social, all of that stuff, if you have external lead vendors, you can have them set up a webhook that'll basically move everybody into this system. When a new lead comes in, depending on where they came from, you're going to want to introduce yourself in a bit of a different way, right? So if somebody comes in through Angie, you may want to say, hey, look, I know you're getting bombarded by every roofing company, HVAC company in Kansas City, but let me tell you a little bit about what makes us different and why we would love a chance to earn your business. And then, if it's LSA, you're not going to have their name, you're not going to have their email, but you're going to have their phone number, so you're going to have to say something a little bit different. But the idea here is that as soon as they respond, the AI will come in and schedule them onto the calendar. It's going to check to make sure that the right job is getting associated with the right rep in the right location. And I'm going to show you how that works in just a second. And you have this annual funnel too. So if anybody ever times out, they're going to go here to this annual funnel. And every single month, they're going to get a specific message, right? So it could be an email or text or both, or it could be like a voice AI, like an outbound call to see if they need service. The idea here is that nobody ever falls out of the funnel and they're always getting contacted at the right time. You no longer have to have somebody calling all of your customers every single month so that you can schedule service, renew maintenance contracts. This will do it for you, and now you can use your staff to do a bit more important tasks. If somebody comes in and they don't reply right away, because top of funnel leads sometimes they're just shopping around, you'll have this follow-up funnel, which is a much more aggressive way to kind of get them on the calendar. Whenever somebody requests a callback, they'll go into this callback request. You'll be notified in the way that you want to be notified. This is something also that we go over during onboarding. But yeah, in the appointment funnel, when somebody books an inspection or books a job or whatever, if it's on your dispatching board and you have a system already set up, you can kind of skip this. Or if you want to set up some sort of an automation that will welcome your company, introduce the reps, I think that's a very good idea. Whenever a cancellation comes in, you want to get them back on the books right away. So we have that right here. Whenever an estimate goes out, you want to make sure that you're following up on every single estimate. And you'll see here that, again, you have this disposition funnel. If somebody has a pricing disposition, you want to make sure you can try to convert them right away. And you can set these up as well. And they're very, very useful. When a job is in progress, all the automation is paused, and then we can get the review and the referral, and then you have this customer funnel. Now, I want to show you a little bit about how the AI actually works, right? Because you may be thinking, how could you possibly do all this stuff? There's going to be different types of bots. Sometimes you might want to take appointment requests. Other times you may want the bot to confirm. If you're like a cleaning company and you're just, people are calling for estimates, you may want to have a bot that handles that. What we do is we put in your CRM, and then we're going to put in the API key. This is business units, so this is something only ServiceTitan asks for. That will be populated here. All of the job types that are associated with your CRM will pop up right here, and we can select them. This is a manual way of doing it too. So, you could do it manually as well. And that way, when you're adding the calendar, you can give the calendar a name. And now you have a calendar that basically services only duct cleaning. And when you want to set up your service area, what you'd want to do is, let's say you only took care of this, you can really customize exactly where you want to go and where you don't want to go. And now we have a custom service area that's associated with this calendar. And now what we can do is we can clone it and add different services, or we can clone it and declare different service areas. what will then happen is now all of your reps or your technicians would show up and you would assign them to each different calendar. That way, when the AI is talking to somebody and it's gathering the information, it knows exactly which calendar to look at. And because it's looking at a calendar that we've already predefined, it knows exactly which reps or techs are on that calendar. So it knows when the availability is there. And our API, which I'll show you in a second how it works, is a two-way sync. So whatever's on your Job Nimbus calendar or ServerSight calendar will also reflect what's on this calendar, so that the AI knows exactly how to check to see who's available, right? And it can get a little advanced too, right? Like if you have 3 slots per morning and 3 slots per tech per afternoon, you can set that up as well. And maybe you have some custom questions. Maybe you want another hair color. No, I mean that you wouldn't want to ask somebody's hair color, unless maybe you do. I don't know. And then we have some fields that we require, right? So that we can record the call, get the transcript, summarize the transcript. Now, what's really cool is that all of this stuff goes to a database. If somebody were to call back and needs to reschedule or something like that, the AI can actually find them in the system and can see if they have an appointment and can reschedule them, and it'll know, who they are, where they live, and all that stuff. So that's something that nobody else does, and that's really, really cool. So that's how the AI works. Now, the API, how does that work? So it's pretty simple. You would connect your CRM here. We would connect it with you. This would pull up all of the Job Nimbus statuses that you have. You would then start mapping them to our system. Do we want a two-way sync, a one-way sync? Do we want to leave it on, leave it off? It's as simple as that. That's exactly how we make sure that one system and the other system are in perfect harmony and talking to each other back and forth. This way, if something happens in Job Nimbus, the AI and the automation will know what's going on, and that opportunity or that contact will be moved in the automation system so that we know exactly where they are in the process. So that's how this whole thing works. We have different models. Some of them are less advanced, some of them are more advanced. The best way to really figure out if it's a good fit for your business is to hop on a demo, a one-on-one demo. But at least now you know kind of how this whole thing works so that you're not in the dark. And the way we charge is we have a build out fee, and then we charge monthly depending on which model you want to go with. And that's to pay for the maintenance, the server fees, and the actual build out, right? The construction, so to speak. What we don't do is, if you were to go with Hatch or Chirp or whatever, I know at least Hatch does, they basically cover the usage fees so that you have to keep upgrading your plan the more calls you make or text or AI things that you do. So we don't do that. We actually just let you pay for the usage yourself, so that way you're only getting billed for what you're using. So I think it's a much more effective way of doing it. And I hope that was useful, and I'll see you soon.